kicking us off. Going a little way backwards, but what the hell.
A little bit different attack lineup, though. We are seeing IQ brought out this time, as we didn't see that previously when Chalet came up. So that should be interesting to see if there's just more of an attack-heavy, aggressive attack from the GiFu side.
Find out in just a second. We are used to seeing this double speed play from Sisu, Ash and IQ in their rosters. KTO, Mastari and Vapo both running the two. Yunus, of course, used to be the Ash player for Europe in many ways, but he has been replaced out now by Vapo, but he does still play a very similar style and a similar set of operators. But can he do it as well? Yunus was the backbone of that team for quite some time.
Well, we are seeing them play the NA favorite right now, which is the trophy room to start. So we'll see if they defend it any differently than either Flipside or Youngtis did. I can't imagine a lot of variation in terms of the actual setup, but what it comes down to is how you play your min. As you mentioned before, how you play those min upstairs can make a big difference.
10 seconds left.
So standardized reinforcements and everything set up in the room below.
5 seconds left.
Sisu just sitting their drones out in some safer spots and checking them and keeping them alive there for the start of the round
Attackers are moving out to
before they make their move in.
We got all 5 men down in the middle floor right now, so the question is, are they going to rotate anyone up to guard or just let them take the top floor and then retake it from there?
Find out in just a second. We do see Vapo already opening up this top floor master bedroom area. If someone was late reinforcing, which is not an uncommon thing to do, he might catch their movement. He might have already caught someone running in and around outside the bathtub here in the hot tub room, which is now what he is droning as well.
Good on him for leaving his drone in there as well. Obviously, he wants to go in here, leaves his drone in there, shoots open the door, gets ready to just sprint on in. Good preparation for that. We do have Thermite coming around. They've left the diffuser just kind of waiting.
Yeah, it's in a safe spot. Anyone, whatever, can pick it up. Then we're going to pass it over to Protex. Of course, Thermite on this site is not as vital, depending on how you choose to attack it. If they're trying to go in from below here, they go in from this main lobby and do want to Thermite these walls, and yes, of course, he's pivotal. But there are ways to get to this site if you're going through dining or not, where the Thermite charges themselves are not necessarily a must-use. So that he can be the diffuser holder, he can be that man that is not so vital and can run in headfirst to try and plant.
Nice C4, but doesn't do any damage to him.
Yeah, Snake slightly mislocating where Boonsy's heartbeat was coming from, realizing that he's outside and that C4 wasn't going to touch him at all.
I might have given him an angle down into the kitchen,
yeah,
if anything.
That was what I was going to say. Worst thing is now giving him a sightline in. We saw that in the Xbox finals.
Yeah.
We saw players using that angle to devastating effect, more often ultimately from the bottom up.
Yeah.
But now that Boonsy knows and can see that it is blatantly open, he's going to look down through that all day long.
Yeah, you know someone was at least in the kitchen for a moment there. Attackers definitely trying to come from different angles, which is good, but they obviously want to take this wall here.
Oh,
Wilkie waiting for something.
Yeah, Wilkie waiting for someone that might be rotating through underneath them from the wine cellar. It's something that Falco had been doing in the last round, but it's something that Orbit are not playing with. Vapo and KTO, despite being the 3-speed fast operators, are actually playing very static with the rest of their team at the moment, but Protax is starting to take quite a bit of damage. He's down to about 10 HP, but he is getting the wall blown open. Snake could not get him done, but he does manage to shoot the charge out instead.
That's a good start.
Now KTO is in that angle. He's getting caught on the heartbeat, but as he tries to come around, KTO dodges most of the shots and then returns a little bit of his own. He's now covering Protax, but the shots are going to come out. Protax will go down because he was so low, and Kix takes down KTO as well afterwards. All going right here for Orbit. Wilkie down in the floor underneath.
They were waiting
up
for
through
that.
the gap, peek out from inside Trophy System Smoke, just tagging onto the backside of Boonsy, but Wilkie will take Snake down now. Canadian's been down in the kitchen too, so it is technically a 3v3 at the moment. Boonsy outside Trophy, Wilkie getting in close, taking down some barbed wire. Vapo cautious of what coming up underneath. Vapo takes down Young. They come into the site. Kix is down. They have already finished off the sledge. Boonsy now outside. They got to pick up the diffuser and get in. Vapo now on the move. The smokes are going to come across to one side. He does get into the trophy room. Does immediately begin the plant. Canadian is downed inside kitchen and is all on K9 now to find 2. They're going to get the plant down inside the trophy room. He cannot stop that. Can he retake it? They're going to try and get the revive on Canadian. They need the numbers here. Is Boonsy going to catch him while they're mid-plant? He was rotating to watch the kitchen. He does just about catch him as he stands up and runs away. And he kills Canadian straight away afterwards. So the revive is irrelevant. Now he attacks K9. K9 coming down through the corridor. Vapo is just holding one doorway. Boonsy holding the other. He has to kill this Blackbeard, but he's staying very tight and very prone down behind the back trophy. Stands on up. Does get down. K9 with a free kill. Vapo now watching the doorway, though. He gets in. He's inside the site. Is Vapo going to be ready? Flicks around to one edge. He doesn't get it. K9 picks him up. Has more than enough time for the defuse.
Beautiful
K9,
shot.
Beautiful reactions and the calls, the yelling from the stage. Well and truly deserved.
That was a clutch right there. That's not the first time I've seen Kanal pull a clutch off like that, but that was definitely a strong play. Got his teammate up, Teammate immediately gets dropped, still manages to make it happen against 2. With the diffuser down, no less.
Only 2 doorways he could have possibly come in through. Sisu choke and let him through.
You know, they were hiding behind that display case. They're thinking, okay, cool, I got cover. I'm going to pop up and peek him. But where do you think he's going to be looking? Straight at that display case.
Nicely done indeed. All right, Orbit, first one's on the board.
Coming in strong.
I mean, they're not the most emotional team in the world, but when you're on this level of stage and you're throwing away rounds like that, if you keep doing it, it's going to take knocks out of you.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can step it up and get back into the rhythm of things. We've already talked about how this big stage can get to some players. And yes, okay, these guys have both got here in the past, but they both got here against each other.
Yeah.
Orbit are the more stabilized lineup since that game, and definitely going to have the slight edge.
I'm imagining GiFu's going to have a little bit of confidence having beat them last time, though, thinking, you know what, we did it once before, we could do it again. But that's not a good round to start that for them.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
As Sisu set up their defenses, they got frost traps underneath the trapdoor leading from master bedroom to kitchen. They got a couple again around by the main lobby, and they are having a roaming Vapo and Wilkie with this Super 90, and with Wilkie's...
He's got the lucky charm. We'll see if that helps.
Yeah.
Little rabbit's foot. A lot of roaming going on, though, down there. Hoping that'll pay off once they get in.
So, Orbit this time getting pretty rapidly. Kicks, just what are you doing?
Yes.
There we go.
If he can land
I think he's
that
cautious of a C4 perhaps underneath it.
Yeah.
So doesn't want to get too close, but after that when he misses, buddy, you just got to give in and shoot it.
Almost ironic for Ash, the one person who could breach from remote distance.
Yes. So, K9 on the front edge looking to take out the camera, crack open a couple angles towards the library. They are giving control and taking control of the upper half of the rest of the map here, Orbit, making sure these flanks from behind aren't going to come in their way. Something which Sisu didn't actually do, but something which Orbit were not looking to try and take advantage of anyway.
One thing I've seen Orbit do a lot, though, is push that dining room, so I expect we may see that again. You've got K9 up here trying to keep control of that fireplace. Once they have control of the top floor, I do expect we'll see some push from the dining room side.
Wilkie is coming up by the back staircase. Now Kix has got his 8-cook trained on the top of the stairs anyway. And Wilkie, with that shotgun in hand, is going to have a tough time killing him. He does take him down to half health.
Not the range he needs.
But now does not have the range required, even on that Super 90.
No. It's a good try, though. I mean, you might be able to land a little bit of damage, but giving away your position is kind of harsh.
Does get Kix down through the wall there as Snake takes down Protax from above. So they do trade 1 for 1. Wilkie does get that kill in towards the bar, but now Young is training on the same location. He's still around in that games room. Canadians watching one angle. Young has got to try and find him. They don't have the time or the numbers to just sit here and hold him in that spot. If they're going to do that, they have to push him. And Young does do that to get the kill. Wilkie shut down.
Straight to the face.
Young without taking too much damage in the process either. So now it is now 3v4. Canadians freed up to come and push in. Snake's pushing in from dining as well. And now Bunsi sitting here inside the B site. Has KG Mustari inside A with him. But Vapo still off and about downstairs at the moment. Has to pick his timing right.
Yeah, they cleared the top floor, but they didn't clear the bottom floor. However, if, like you said, if he doesn't time it right, it may not do anything. Here's that dining room push I was talking about. They have a very strong one.
So grenades coming in. He's going to rush straight in. KTO pre-fire. The last bullet downs him. KTO finished off by a Snake now, and it's going to be all on Vapor to come up. He's on the right floor now, but he's far enough away that he's not going to shoot anyone. Bunsi taken out at a range from Young right down the far end, and now Vapo's the only man behind. Going to come in there inside the kitchen with the plant, takes down Snake. The plant's on the left-hand side. He finds Young, gets him as well. That's the diffuser down. 2 members now left for Young.
Seconds remaining.
For Orbit, rather. They haven't got the diffuser. One's going to come in from dining room. One's coming in the main lobby. He's got the dining room for what? He comes away at the last second, but he still gets the kill. Looking up for the next man. He's got to stay down. 6 seconds on the clock. Canadian has time. Sprinting into the room. Vapo can't do it.
Straight to the face.
Canadian shuts down the 4K, locks him with just 3, and gives the round over to Orbit.
Canadian's not the one who generally has a reputation for the best aim, but you know what? In a clutch situation like that, as long as he can hit the face, that's what matters. And they are definitely thrilled down there. About 2 rounds in a row, starting off strong.
Vapo so close yet so far. A little bit late on his retake, to be completely fair. If he'd have come at a slightly earlier time, maybe some of his other teammates would have still been alive. But taking down 3 people on his way in, just couldn't get that last one.
Well, you got to be prepared next time you do a dining room push. Then when they come up from those back stairs, it's not the first time I've seen people get shot in the back thinking they've confidently taken dining room.
Definitely feeling like a more teamwork vibe coming out of Orbit here right now. It does feel like Sisu are a 5 single-man squad.
They are
Orbit
bringing up fuses
are a
time.
team.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, something different. So KTM and Starry is on the fuse now. They know they're going to be attacking this basement site because Orbit are forced out of the kitchen and the trophy room. Question is, how and where you're going to use it. We've seen it in a few situations from the fireplace lounge down into the connector. You can get it through the floor. That can switch that out. And then if you're pushing in through the garage door in the back alley, without that threat there to worry about, you can get a nice plant on B. But
that's assuming you can hang out fireplace, not get shot from above or
there's a lot of maybes in that equation, and as you said, got to hang out in that fireplace without being shot from above. And yes, okay, Orbit didn't have any aromas in the floors above last time, but also Sisu didn't do the most work trying to find if they were there, so they could be caught by surprise.
He is going to go for it, though. He's going to confidently move his way towards fireplace. The question is he going to drone adequately first, or just work his way top down?
Pulse down in the basement, making his way forward. Just keeping it safe as the pressure does start to arrive already. Jones are now checking the upper floor, checking the library, checking the office, so this time Sisu are making sure they're safe. Cameras are here as well for Orbit.
Some good camera
checking all the
positions.
deep entrances.
Trying to do a little bit of pre-placement of smoke. Waiting for someone to try and push those stairs.
Snake's heartbeat says he did just clip through the wall there. I don't know if that's a spectate thing or if Boonsy's going to know that he's in the corner. They're going to have suspicions anyway, but the confirmation would have been nice. It's fancy developer skins that Boonsy's using on his weapon here, thanks to the land build they're using.
Good for him. Yeah, he is ready for someone to come out that connector, but he doesn't have a lot of other support here, so it's just Blackbeard alone. Hope he can get it. If they can catch him off angle, they might be able to do some damage to him with a quick peek.
Yeah, he's cautious of the C4 coming out from above, but is edging away for a safe spot to then drone his way in. Orbit is staying very static inside the site, which is good for now, but it's the sort of thing that Fuse is designed to counter.
Very true. We have seen a lot of disciplined defense from Orbit last season where they would really hold their position and then collapse fast when necessary. Let's see if they still got that skill.
KTO does pick up the first kill onto Young as he is running out on the floors above, and Fuse chases him out. Now the Fuse charge is going down, but the C4's there underneath. It was a shotgun. Kick straight up, shoots straight up onto him from somewhere.
That's how you stop the Fuse.
Where the hell is Kicks?
Good angle, apparently.
Kicks is on the bar floor here with Wilkie, so he's not in the basement. So that shot, I mean, maybe on the staircase? Not sure. Maybe came up the backside by kitchen.
We're going to have to see him do that again then.
Yeah, it looks like he's up by kitchen. It's a spot that he could be. Yeah, he's up by kitchen. There we go. Kicks came up by kitchen, got that kill, but Vapo's gone down the back stairs. Nice K9 down as he was hiding in that corner. Now they're pushing into the site. He sprays Canadian in one corner. Look for the other side to where Young is, but he's not there anymore. Kicks is now a little bit far back and away. The smoke grenades are coming in from Vapo. 4v3, and Kicks is a long way out. Snake has been down. Now Canadian's looking to go to the same spot and stop the plant. Shotguns are coming through. Kicks has come down into the gate. He's turned the wrong way. Vapo goes to the right direction to find one. Does miss the initial shots.
Wow.
But Boonsy's there to take Canadian down at the other side of the site, and enough pistol shots from Kicks were missed that Vapo does get the kill in the end. And ultimately, Sisu are on the board. A little bit scrappy, but on the board all the same.
Doing close range fights with that carbine was a little intense. Just assault rifle to the face. Made it work. I'm glad to see, though, it's not going to be a rollover. I was getting a little worried about GiFu.
I gotta be fair. The Sisu we saw those first two rounds, I still think it could end up being a roll.
Yeah.
Like, that bomb site is a very tough one to defend. And Sisu did a good job of singling out each defender because of how static they had to be, because that's what their pin fight is.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
they didn't defend it well either.
There's not much room for defending players to move in that site, and yes, Sisu exploited that. But that's not enough to win the entire game.
No, the Fuse was a nice try, but we saw it countered pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is the bomb site which allows for defense movement. This is the bomb site which allows for defenders to actually outplay more than just gunfights, and this is where Sisu fell down before.
Yeah.
If they can turn this one around, if they can successfully hold here, then I'll have a bit more faith.
It was impressive to see Orbit hold this without having to hold the top floor, too. Like, they really weren't like, hey, we got to have strong defense on the top floor. We can't let them get up there. I mean, it'd be nice if he could have landed that C4 when he threw it up at the patio door, but still ultimately held it from the middle floor.
Yeah. So now let's see then. Once again, they are running Wilkie as a roamer. Vapo, I believe, is another one down in the basement. He did get that 3K on his way back up last time, but one, they're going to know roughly where he's coming from this time. But two, he needs to time it better this time over. There is a C4 pre-placed in the floor there downstairs as well. See if he can make that happen.
Attackers have located a bomb.
This time around, Orbit once again very quickly upstairs and Kicks.
Correct.
Oh, he's having a slightly better time with that door. Just the one miss on this time.
Yeah. Practice that later, I suppose.
Does get inside the master bedroom very quickly this time around. Young and the Orbit squad have droned in very quickly and aggressively, realizing that Sisu are playing far closer and deeper into the sites. I'm going to make the most of that to get into the building itself.
See if they can try and get that wall open. You have Thermite over here, potentially pushing that B wall. They are going to find Vapo this time, though. Not going to be so easy for him to rotate up on him. Get control of that top floor.
Yeah. Once again, they're in. Kicks is just running back and forth from that balcony and in, is just checking all the cameras in their way. They know to expect Wilkie and Vapo. They've droned most of them out, and they are forced back and away. No aggressive peeks up from those library stairs by Wilkie this time around.
They have some idea where pretty much everyone's at this point.
Ketio with that pre-placed C4 takes Young down. That's going to be big. No more Blackbeard to deal with. As they take him out on the floor above.
That was a big part of their attacks previously.
Yeah. Nasty time using those Valk cameras, using that C4 to his advantage, but the thermite charge is now going to start going off inside and against the kitchen, against the trophy room wall. Boonsy's inside that side though and does have smokes to his name that he can sit there and throw on out. 30 seconds that those smokes can lock out. One of them's already gone, so only 20 remaining, but with a minute 10 on the clock, needs to be a bit smarter how he uses these final 20 seconds of hold. Nice shot from one Boonsy onto Kicks. Somehow from the back of Trophy in towards, I believe, this staircase. Vapo also grabbing onto K9, came up a bit more aggressively this time. Snake does finally get a kill for Orbit from above down onto KTM Mistari, but then he's shut down by the roaming Vapo, and with the final kill coming out of Boonsy in the backside of Trophy, Canadian is finished off, and the round goes to Sisu. We are finally back to a game, ladies and gentlemen. 2 rounds to 2. Sisu have arrived.
Seems like they've figured out what they were doing wrong, maybe? A little bit more teamwork that time. You saw them really pick it off one attacker at a time. But that's all it takes, as long as you're consistently picking them off, playing that numbers advantage, just catching them as they're moving places and not expecting you to be there. Good dynamic movement. Like you said, they're a lot more able to move freely along that floor, and it really paid off for them to be able to come on those flanks.
Yeah, they definitely had that Orbit push figured, right? We had Boonsis at the back of B site, quick burst, that they were walked into his crosshairs, Canadian second, Kicks first. We then had the Valkyrie with a pre-placed C4 on her cameras, picking off the Blackbeard. They knew when and where to expect people, and they were prepared and ready for exactly that attack from Orbit.
I don't think
that shouldn't work every single round. Yeah, that shouldn't work every single round, so they've got to figure something else out for their next attempt. But to get them back into 2 and a 2, to get them back on that level footing, it's a good start.
That's the important thing, right? Keep it a tie so you don't lose the entire map.
All right. Last 15 seconds in the prep phase, and Orbit have mixed things up a little bit. They are now bringing in Castle to their defensive lineup. They have used his barricades in the dining room, and now here towards the kitchen. Now, to a lot of people, that seems like it limits movement.
Yeah.
But to, I think, a lot of other people, what it stops, and what's very important, is it stops that kitchen window peek towards dining.
Unless you can C4 out it and catch someone off guard, it's a deadly thing. I mean, yeah, in like a casual or occasional random ranked, you can catch someone that just is cautious, just peeking in recklessly, but not in the setting.
So, keeping that safety, making it tough to be breached and fired through a Blackbeard on that kitchen window. While not invincible, is tough. KTO using IQ's gadget, checking around outside. It's not uncommon for a camera to be thrown out here by Valkyrie, and then checking the close insides of the building.
It'd be nice to see it used inside once.
Yeah.
So just outside, but
sure it is occasionally just tough. She's currently on the gadget. That's just a spectate visual bug. Grenade goes up and in from Wilkie. Goes close to Young, but not quite close enough. Next one will go in and force him to run away a bit further, but again, he survives it with minimal damage.
It does open some holes in the floor, though, potentially, for them to use from that car garage.
Yeah. Possible as well. There was a grenade hole, and he'll come on in shortly underneath it.
Got a little more clearance
in the corner. Young used to be there. He's now moved away. And once again, now Wilkie holding this same spot in case anyone's coming from the wine cellar, like he did the first time they attacked this round.
He likes that angle. It's a little bit of a static angle, though. I mean, I think you see a lot more pro players doing jiggle peeks and things like that, trying to hold it a little more dynamically, but he's pretty confident it's going to do something.
Now, we can't quite tell how many of the operators have been detected by Sisu, but the lack of Jaeger should be a pretty big deal for their push in. They might have figured it out by now. KTO accidentally flashing himself, but again, just pre-firing this corner so they can't get that pulse. Aggressive peek and stop the thermite charge like he did before. This time the charge goes off. Snake now tries to come around and finish KTO as he's prone in the corner reloading, but can't get the kill. However, Castle will afterwards. That UMP-45 at range does shut down KTO, but Boonsy will take a trade back onto Young. Now with the B side open, it is 4v4, and Snake and Kicks are a little bit low on health, but so is Boonsy. However, he's Blackbeard and has a shield in front of his face, so he is basically 3 people.
That's true. It's still a pretty strong defense, though, only losing 1.
If you want to be technical, 800 health would be 8 people, actually.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But he's sitting outside this trophy window. He's got to sit back and just cover the range. This big kill hole in towards the kitchen is actually helping him out a little way, watching further into this corridor. Team have to get in and plant, though. Here comes the charge. It's starting to go down. You can hear it going off. Snake's trying to pre-fire, but Wilkie's ready for him. The shotgun at that range loses. Canadian, I believe, just C4'd himself down inside the kitchen.
Not good for Canadian.
No, trying to make a hole through, and then Protex, when trying to revive him, is shut down. Kicks gone, and it's all on K9. He has clutched before. He finds Protex, does get 1. He's going to possibly get the revive. He's cautious of a push. Canadian not in a safe spot yet. He's cautious of going forward. You can get the revive off here, Canadian. You're going to go without it? Looks towards the outside. Now Boonsy's there to shut him down. It's easy kill. He lets Canadian die.
Poor Canadian.
Sisu take the lead.
It was almost the same clutch situation for K9, but they were a little smarter this time. You got Blackbeard out the window. You got Wilkie far away. They definitely were not going to make it as easy as last time. No peeking up behind the display case or something silly like that.
Well, playing a far more disciplined game now are Sisu, and yeah, they still look to outside sources as that 5 single-player team, but no, it's the fact that they have finally now all on the same page again. They warmed up a little bit, but they play at such a long distance compared to every other team.
Yeah.
Look at how far outside the building Wookie was at the end there, with that thermite right outside in the car park. Then we had Boonsy right outside the trophy, but looking deep inside the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we still had a player upstairs that was coming around behind them too. Like, they played from such a long range, use those ACOGs, use those assault rifles.
That's your advantage as an attacker.
So it can, unfortunately, sometimes backfire, and they can get picked off very quickly, and it seems in a very singular one-by-one fashion.
Yeah. As long as you work together, though.
Yeah. Providing there's good communication when you're playing at that range, they do have very well-covered bomb sites, and that results in them finally taking the lead.
I imagine Orbit are just going to have to make a few adjustments here.
Yep.
Can't let them go that easy.
This is the first time that Sisu would have been defending this basement now, so we have not seen them play down here, neither have Orbit, though. We'll see whether their strategies are figured out for it or not.
Given the NA scene, I expect a wine cellar push, but we may see something a little different here from Orbit as they may be trying to counter whatever they see in the EU scene.
I completely agree. A wine cellar push ultimately against the Sisu squad, unless you can find and pin those defenders inside the snowmobile garage very aggressively, wine cellar would be nice. Vapo does like to roam. They already know that. They already dealt with it for 2 rounds, but roaming is very tough to do, especially now that you already know he's got a 416 and shotgun in that main cellar. Unless the trapdoors are already blown, even then it's very easy for the attackers to watch the trapdoors for him to drop, or he's got to come down that one staircase, which is, again, is very easy for you to watch, while the rest of your team just goes straight into that wine cellar.
Yeah, they just got to be a little more careful and just not let him behind them.
As it is, though, a lot of their push seems to be coming from the front side. They are at the games room at the moment. They're droning in towards the library stairs, and they will find Wilkie on them very shortly. They're looking to come in the same route as Jungtis generally do on this map, but they've already used up a minute and not really made a lot of progress.
Definitely just getting into position, doing their droning. Hopefully they've at least got enough intel to make intelligent decisions when they make this push.
Oh, they do start trying to breach their way into the bar and take a little extra shots on it, but it's happening all the same. Slowly coming down this way. One person down these back stairs is nice, and Young looking like he wants to be the man to do it, but he's got to go through the barbed wire and get past the Rook that's waiting for him. Protax is falling back slowly, but still has MP5 trained on the stairs.
Really pushing this cautiously. That barbed wire is going to be a big giveaway.
Does punch it a couple of times and see if it baits anyone out to move and attack him. Realizes the camera's still there, so kills that out before going back in. We do finally get a kill on the board. It is Kano, and they've taken Vapo down. So there's the roamer out of the picture. But he's already wasted 2 minutes of the round. So he might have already done his job anyway.
Goodness gracious. Hopefully they've got a plan in mind here. It looks like they do want to at least get open the garage.
Garage open.
Trying to fake it, though.
Thinking about it, playing with it. There's nothing to stop it, though. There's no bandit. KTM Mysterio right on the inside is now tucked very deep in by the plant spot, in there by the dustbins.
Ooh, with a shotgun, too.
They're going to be aware of it. Protex firing towards the back stairs, sees that Young is here. Doesn't want to play that too much more. The flashbang's going down, and Young's thinking about edging forward. There's the KTO taking down Canadian. That's the diffuser down too. They also get Boonsy killing Kicks as he tries to come in. Drop him from bar onto Snake. He goes down to try and pre-fire the corner, but KTO dodging around the shots and then downing him from a range. The C4 will come out, BB killed off. Another smoke is pinning Young in the back of the site. Snake is downed inside, and Wilkie's finished Kane off elsewhere. Is now all on the Blackbeard. He's being flanked by Wilkie, and it doesn't matter because he will be taken out from inside the bomb site. And Sisu from 2-0 down and now 4-2 up.
You gotta love when a team loses the first 2 rounds and then just comes up fast. Like, that's how you do it, you know. It's funny because I'm used to seeing that from Orbit. I'm used to seeing Orbit let the first round or 2 go, figuring things out, and then coming back strong. But we're seeing the flip of that right now. They came in strong and just lost that momentum. 4-2 is not a good place to be in when you're just trying to get to the finals.
And honestly, like, that attack feels like a team that just had no plan.
No.
Like, they spending a minute before they even got inside the building. Yes, okay, you knew Vapo's around, but a minute before you get inside is ridiculous because you're all coming from one push. You've spawned in times before. Why not come up from one campfire, one from the other side? You get into the master bedroom, the office, or on the balcony, and you've got him pinned in the library. You droned him, that's fine. But a minute before you got inside, then you all try and come in through the game room. Then you do finally kill him, but that takes you another minute to kill him. So then you're left with 1 minute to push the site. And you more or less all try and come down the back alley and the garage door, and with the time you've got, you don't have the time to sit out there and fire in it from a range. You don't have time to sit out there and pin the defenders in. You have to go in aggressively, and sure enough, KTO's just going to sit with his shotgun all day long and happily take that.
Yeah, come on in.
I don't know.
I mean, my understanding is they don't have a designated shot caller. Whoever kind of takes it, like sometimes Kick, sometimes Canadian. And I think that might be hurting them right now. They might not have a dedicated plan. Someone's calling audibles too often, and we're seeing a lot of craziness.
Yep, definitely does. But as it is now, we're back onto an Orbit defense of the kitchen trophy room again. Last time they tried this, it did not go very well for them. Their plan was figured out, their defense was figured out, and it was played around nicely. KTM and Starry with those preemptive flashbangs in, and then there's the pre-firing, ready for Snake to peek around the corner. Made sure they got the thermite charge off. And then we talked about it, the long-range sit back and attack from Sisu allowed the plant to go in, and then just they were untouchable by the shotguns trying to retake the site. This time around, though, Kix has taken a leaf out of the Sisu book, and they're running a roaming Jaeger.
It's a good idea. I mean, I'm surprised they're still not playing anyone upstairs, but having someone play downstairs that's fast with a good long-range weapon can really come in handy. Assuming they don't have to run and shoot them in the face.
Yeah, so we'll see whether or not Sisu even find him, because it's the first time that we've even seen a roamer played here by Orbit. They may not expect him, so they may not drone far enough. He is quite a long way from the site right now. But as you say, 3 speed means it will not take him long to get back there when he's needed.
Yeah, you drone him out, he's just going to move. Be a totally different position as long as he sees that drone.
So, KTO once again looking to pressure in from this side. They're cautious of that door being pulled open behind them. Now they know Kix is somewhere nearby. And just like any other roamer. Oh, nice, I thought Young was fine there, considering what we saw happen earlier on in the first game on Chalet.
Just barely enough to down him.
Just on the edge, and does down him. But of course, Wilkie hasn't got a clue.
Can't finish him off from that angle anyways.
You can shoot through the floor directly underneath Young, but he needs to be droned first. Yeah. Because yes, you're right. This specific hole, he won't be seen. Now Kix is looking to peek on outside. He's going to find the backside of Protax. He does get the down. That's the thermite dead, and that's huge, because now they can't breathe their way in towards the site like they wanted to.
Switching up with that flank, or the roamer really helped there.
Yep, pulling that door down earlier on, then letting them let their guard down, and then peeking it. Big deal, and getting the thermite of all people. Young is still down and bleeding. It doesn't look like the Orbit can get close to him, but in fact they don't know he's down. Still gives them the advantage. They think there might be 5 people alive.
True, he's still got about half his health left. He could bleed for a while.
Exactly. Snake inside the dining room is going to have heard that drone go off. He peeks around the corner. Vapo, what a nice shot to K9. Flicks it up to his head. Snake very low, is now up and close again, and the knife from Wilkie is inside the site. Down the stairs is coming Boonsey, is smoking underneath. Vapo smoking onto Snake. He goes prone, and Snake comes around the corner.
How did he miss that?
Beautiful reaction. The prone drop just catching him by surprise. Gets inside, gets up on the edge, and now Kix has got to come and retake the site alone. Canadian is downed elsewhere. He is 1v4, and this will be map number 1 in the books if he doesn't make it. He's doing a dirty dance. Does pre-fire the balcony. Takes down Vapo. Pre-fires the little edge. Boonsey outside. He shoots the body instead. Wilkie will be credited with the kill. And round and map number 1 has gone on over to Sisu.
I don't think that rain dance really did it for him. No. He got 1 kill out of it, but I'm not sure what he was doing at that point. Maybe just not thinking he's going to win it. And he was right. Self-fulfilling prophecy on that case. We saw a really good set of attacks or defenses there, and it just fell apart as quick as it was working.
No. Down go the mighty Orbit.
Yeah, 5-2. Not what I was expecting to see at all.
No.
I thought we'd at least see a 5-4, if not a 6-5.
Now, they have dropped 1 map in the past. It was that 1 draw. It was against Flipside. But they have never properly lost a game. So there is still a track record to be held, kept intact,
if they
turn it around here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they look a little bit deflated, heads in hands and stuff already.
Time to get pumped up.
But yeah, need to shrug it off, come back to the next map now as if it's 0-0. Go on into Clubhouse now, heads held high. Ignore the first map, the result doesn't matter. GiFu are definitely in a good mood, and maybe rightly so. They had a great 5 rounds on the trot to turn that around. And they are staring down the barrel of an all-EU final once again.
Yeah, how do you go from being 2 rounds down to winning 5 rounds in a row? Just figuring, putting your head back on, screwing it on, and get to work.
So they will be playing Clubhouse in just a moment, and from what we've seen there, to be fair, this map, apart from the bar, does force GiFu to play more into Orbit's style.
Yeah.
You can't play from the long range. You can't sit back quite like they were doing there once they've taken the bomb site. You've got to be in, and it's got to be close quarters. And Orbit do seem to have a stronger hold on that idea until that last round where Vapo just dumpstered all over Snake. And
I was surprised to see him like engage at such close ranges with such accuracy and speed. I mean, obviously Ash is good at being inside doing that damage, but just those moves there was very quick, very aggressive. Now, we did see a lot of shotgun play, as you mentioned, the range thing, previously on Clubhouse with Yunctus versus Flipside. A lot of, especially in the church side. So once they get down into that basement, they've got to be prepared for that. They've got to be prepared to really get down and dirty, engage close, use grenades to clear out places, maybe even smoke, something to give them some kind of disguiser advantage.
Now, the other thing to note here is, have Orbit done their research on GiFu specifically? Because if they've looked at Yunctus' first game and taken the way Yunctus played that church map, that basement map, as the even better as the way it's done, GiFu don't play like that.
Yeah.
Or at least the old GiFu we saw in the season don't play like that. They do the more one through construction, one through tunnel, one through stairs. They don't look so much for the thermites on church. They don't look so much for the thermites into kitchen, which was rare, but it was looked at a couple of times.
I guess we'll see if they put batteries down on that church wall. Then you know, okay, they're expecting a push from that side, and maybe they don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait and see how their setup is, or more to the point, if GiFu actually do go ahead and do that, because yes, it's the NA meta, and yes, Yunctus tried it towards the end of the season and now here, but it is a very strong strategy all the same.
We are seeing that castle brought out again. I have to say, I like the castle coming back into the meta so late because it's one of the few operators that made a comeback without any buffs.
Yep.
You just, eventually people realized, oh, maybe he's not the worst operator. If you actually know what you're doing, he could be really strategically useful.
So, as they do begin their setup, KTO is reinforcing the backside of Church. This is obviously GiFu on defense first. We'll then create a couple of kill holes in towards blue. Protag's actually running upstairs to the reinforcements is interesting. Using a 3 armor operator to go up to those floors above is a little bit rare.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to be like Yunctus and use him to peek.
But it does also seem to be his only job is to literally put armor down, then run up, reinforce that, and run back down the garage.
Sure.
It's a long job that doesn't really require huge speed. As for the other 2 reinforcements, they are already done and back down, and here come the attacking team with no spawn kills to worry about. KTO has reinforced the pit door with that castle barricade, the construction door with that castle barricade, and I think the 3rd one is there on the memorial door underneath the bar dropper. So those are very standard and expected.
They're good spots, why change them? Droning, of course, coming out, needing to make sure that there's no one around here, but does spot out Vapu. That's going to hurt.
Playing aggressively on those stairs means he'll have to back off a bit more cautiously soon. They're droning the floors above, but having seen Vapo on the stairwell there, I'm pretty sure they're going to be confident there's no roamers, as he is the roamer for GiFu. So yes, you want to check and be sure elsewhere, but you can speed yourselves up a little bit knowing that if Vapo's downstairs, chances are the rest of them are too.
That's where that really good team captain knowledge kind of comes in.
Alright, shut down.
Special charge!
2 clocks and then blowing open the bar dropper. And the bar itself is being swarmed here by Canadian and Orbit. They are making a couple of kill holes down to the floor below, making sure Vapo is gone from that spot, making sure there's nothing waiting for them underneath the floor.
Unfortunately, it looks like the thermite didn't blow on the bar drop.
Yep, so the thermite bar dropper has glitched out. Yeah, it is still reinforced. So we are going to have to back out and do a quick remake in a moment.
It's unfortunate.
Thankfully, it's only round 1, though.
Yeah, it's one of those quick things, too, that doesn't really take a lot of time to get into the round.
Quick team kill at the end, just to
little sport.
Enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And yes, we'll have them back out. We'll have them remake the lobby in just a moment and get themselves back in shortly. There's a known issue. It's unfortunately been in the game for quite a while now. But it will be fixed out, and hopefully we'll have to get the rest of the map. But we did see the starting and the beginnings of a standardized Orbit attack there. We saw them head on in, we saw them drop down. through very quickly in towards the bar, start making those kill holes down through the corridor, start blowing open the standard trapdoor and bar, didn't work, but started giving it a go. No inklings towards an attempt to kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about how it's very high risk, high reward, but it's something that some teams have been trying, and when you're maybe one game down, maybe looking for that big first win to get the momentum back on your side, trying something like that kind of big risk reward could have been a way to go.
It might be that they wanted to wait till they've droned it a little bit more, say, is there someone down in armory, or are we just wasting our time?
Yeah, maybe so. So we'll see. And now that they got a remake, of course, there's no nothing to say that Sisu have to take the same bomb site. Nothing to say they have to play the same thing again. So we'll see if Orbit try that or if Sisu mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, nothing to say Orbit has to do the same thing either.
No, so we'll see. I suspect we will see Sisu go down to the basement again. There's no real benefit to going to the bar. It's a very tough one to defend to get the ball rolling. But as we mentioned, you talked about how there was some teasing towards letting them play Hereford, beating them on Hereford, their best map, just to rub it in and make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm
if you
surprised.
take bar as your first bomb site here, having already run the first map, you then beat them on bar as the first round.
That would be
here.
embarrassing.
That would be an embarrassment.
I have heard sometimes strategically teams talking about playing your second best site first, because then if you lose it, worst case scenario, you play your best site next.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, you win your worst site, and then you win your best site.
Yeah.
So sometimes that could be a strategic idea, like for morale as well as just sometimes getting that out of the way and not falling back towards a downslide.
Yeah, and with all that in mind, and the fact that they just had their first feel out of the orbit of the Sisu defensives, they've got that fresh in their mind as knowing where it's going to be. They're going to get in, they're going to drone a hell of a lot faster at the start of this next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine they're going
to completely mess with their heads for a minute, throw them off, and you might have a cheeky little round out there. Like Orbit, we saw them at the end of that last round, heads in hands. You can see them down there on stage at the moment, still looking a bit deflated. Like a loss to bar, round number 1 of this remake, could destroy them.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do take the basement again, say you put Vapu up on the top floor, and they're expecting him on the downstairs again, just throwing them off like that could really just deflate them further in terms of them thinking like they knew something for a second and just taking that away from kicking the legs out from underneath them.
Yeah, so we do have all 10 players back in the lobby now, and the game is loaded back up. Getting underway in just a second. You'll see it on your screens in a moment. Same as before, of course, blue team is going to be that attacking squad of Orbit, and Sisu, our orange defensive team, getting underway. Same 5 defenses being picked out by Sisu to begin with. They are bringing that castle to the table just like before.
Same bomb spot.
And they are still sticking down to the basement. So
Bummer, I
sticking
did want to see what you said.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
That would have been fun.
The more I talked about it, the more I convinced myself that I wanted to see it.
That it was going to happen. But I mean, hey, they're in it to win it. Stick with what you know is going to work. But hey, this is the first round. It could go either way for this. We will see if they end up doing the same basic defenses. Not really much reason to change up what Castle was doing. Not really any reason to change up the reinforcements. Maybe some small tweaks if they decide they want to reinforce something different and put kill holes somewhere else. But I'm not expecting a lot of variation here. There's just a good reason for the defense that there is because it's solid, unless they expect a different kind of attack. They saw what Orbit was going to be doing. They were going to be coming for that bar. Obviously, that's where they know the thermite glitch was, so they're going to be prepared for that. Heck, they might even try and peek them a little more aggressively in the bar this time, assuming Vapo doesn't get droned super early and that they're ready for him. I mean, if I was Vapo, I would go upstairs and just come down on them, shoot them at the bar when they're not expecting it. Or even as we discussed previously, shooting down from the gym onto that thermite, knowing that they're going to be doing that at the beginning of the round.
The only reason I would say not to the gym is because they did, and it's very easy to drone the gym as well as droning the bar. Send someone in the cash room.
Yeah.
Maybe cheeky spawn peek, like we saw 6-4 try and do. Maybe in the garage, cheeky spawn peek. You've got an easy escape down through the garage, drop it back into the basement. You've got an easy escape from cash room down either just straight behind them into the bar or something like that. And it's just that little bit more of uncertainty, that little bit more surprise. But yeah, like
the mind games.
It's a lot of maybes, a lot of possibilities, but as you say, still very early on in the round. Sisu playing it very safe at the moment. Snake doing the same thing, very safely breaching that pool table from a distance. As if he was to melee it, he could be shot from the stairs by someone very, very, very
surprised he
close.
still used the skeleton key instead of just shooting it, but just wanted the speed, I guess. He was hoping Vapo was just sitting there, pre-firing the heck out of that spot. I guess it was worth a try.
So, using the wrong weapon to fire down through the floor at that point, or even just firing on up. Up on your screens is one more Season 2 gold pack to give away, but that last number is a mystery. You got to guess it. Good luck putting in the right code. Hope you don't get locked out of your Uplay account, but
good luck.
Good luck. So, as we do see the thermite charge working this time around, cracking open the drop down in towards bar. Grenade will come in and take open that thermite charge as well.
Good use
Sorry,
of
that
that
castle wall. And
Paid off.
The castle wall for a grenade. Take that trade.
Yep, that's good.
Kill holes then made on the trapdooring kitchen. Now KTO is checking up through it as the floor above his head just about being cracked open as well by Snake.
They definitely want to try and catch someone off guard through that floor. They're really piling in. They got the C4 out.
Wilkie
Does
gets
it
caught on the wall. The new, less sticky C4, but still there. Throws it in this time around. Young, however, heard it come out first time around and turned tail and ran.
That Velcro ripped so loud.
Didn't get close enough. Minute left on the clock though. Orbit haven't really made a whole lot of movement. Vapo just pings a couple of shots next to Young there and does get his information, but not deal or take any damage himself.
I still prefer Blackbeard on that side of the door versus the other side, but Youngtis did use it to pretty good effect once he was able to get to the other side.
Snake's rotated around to the back of construction to blow open this as well. Comes in and
Nice
immediately takes that
shot.
protect. Nice aggressive play. Canadian does KTO as well. Wilkie going to push aggressively onto Snake, and it's a good play from Sisu. They have to get some aggression here to level the numbers out, but it's only the one kill. Canadian and Kicks now inside the B site because Wilkie backed away. Now the flashbangs are going off and the plant is going down from Canadian. Wilkie's going to come up behind him, but Kicks is going to be there to manage. Stop it. Kicks does stop Wilkie. Vapo's the last man standing. He's got to find 4. He did 3 last time around. Can he find all 4 this time?
Come on,
He's
Vapo.
out the backside. Nice flick by Kicks. Does take him very, very low. Doesn't kill him either. Now
Good
Kicks
trades.
and Vapo trading back and forth. Kicks coming around, but Young
That
going to shut him down
Blackbeard.
from a distance. Actually, Kicks with the final kill, but the result is the same thing. Orbit, round number 1 on the board.
That was a good little firefight at the end there.
Yeah.
A lot of pin down. Vapo put up a fight. I mean, he didn't have a very good advantage there, having all those people around him, but it took them a long time to get down there. But within that last minute, those kills just started rolling fast. I like that push in a construction tunnel, though. That was a little surprising. Just saying, you know what, I got a shotgun. I'm going to close that range on you, just slam you down, stop some of this push from the side so we can focus on the other angles.
Yeah, you've peeked in, you've just used a grenade, you shot my teammate, you're going to be reloading, I'll aggressively push and shoot you out. But, as you say, giving up B at that point, you're giving up the whole armory area, and as a result, couldn't get back into it. The range of Kicks, the range of Canadian.
Yeah, it was
Too
good timing
strong.
on their part.
So, Orbit this time around setting up their own defenses. Canadian and Snake sealing off this blue tunnel with a camera and a castle barricade of their own. While Kicks and Young head upstairs do a couple of reinforcements. Kicks doing the bar and the stock room, and they're all heading his way down. They do have a bandit in their roster, so we'll see what it is they set up. And this might be what you talked about. They might be looking at that church reinforcement all the way along that front wall, and batteries there to stop them coming in, when in all fact, not something seems to really do too well. They do, however, send Boonsey on that Blackbeard aggressively down the back tunnel towards the blue generator room, which is currently not reinforced in any way by Orbit.
Let's hope they at least throw some barbed wire down.
They do have the castle barricade at the far end, but he's not afraid to sit there and punch through it, or hasn't been in the past.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can get a few taps on his feet sometimes if you're quick about it, but it's not going to be really lethal. And we do see Boonsey coming that way, so I do expect we're going to see him doing pretty much just what you said.
K9 is there shooting his feet, though. He was ready for it. Burned around the corner. Now K9's got to be cautious because Boonsey knows for it and is waiting for it. This time K9 is hidden away, but now Boonsey has the superior position and has that shield in front of his face.
You just got to be careful not to bump himself to put his legs forward.
And tagging a couple more shots off. Boonsey takes a little bit more damage there, and now has to back away, realizing he's not going to take that fight and win. Shield is waiting for him. This is good play from Orbit. They were ready for this.
Fun trade.
This means Kicks will take down KT and Mystari elsewhere as well. That takes down the IQ very early on. Now Boonsey is unsure what he's going to do here. He doesn't know if he can get out. He doesn't know if he can get up the ladder.
Still
Just
thinking about it.
trying to tease it.
He really wants those shots to come out to see if K9's still there.
Wilkie's coming around to help him. He's going to perhaps try and grenade that door open and give him a better angle down through it.
We don't see him using those batteries at all. Maybe he picked Bandit just for the MP7.
Possibly so. Thermite charge goes off in the bar, and we'll crack open that drop down. Vapo now with his shotgun has done a couple of shots down through the hole in this corridor, but not made any significant shots down.
We don't see those holes to throw the C4 up the wall this time, though. I did like that strategy.
And then head his way down towards the castle barricade itself. Boonsey still there inside the pit. Now that the wall has been opened up, he's starting to make his way deeper in, but can't go too far without his team pressuring elsewhere. Wilkie's droning in from the bar to Memorial. Vapo's on the stairs, but has grenaded the door open and taken out the barbed wire, and is now checking his way in. From above, that shot racking down through the hole that was made by Vapo in towards Armory. As Thermite now comes to join Vapo on the stairwell.
Located by attackers.
He's still cautious. Has got many guns fired on him. One from inside church, some from the back end of Armory.
There's 2 shotguns in church now they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, 50 seconds on the clock. They don't have much time to deal with them indeed.
Well, they do have those batteries up now on that wall. Young plays them late.
Boonsey shuts K9 down very quickly and easily from the backside of Blue, but Boonsey is finished off by Snake because there was no pressure on Church from the rest of his team. Wilkie now drops down, does miss the first few shots. Canadian, that shotgun will finish him off. Vapo, however, trades straight back. Protex gets one as a Snake, but Young will take down Vapo, and it's just Protex now against 2. Not the worst odds we've seen.
No, not the best. And he's not facing 2 shotguns at least, but definitely that one from Kix could hurt.
Kix is looking to come in from the backside, but it's all on the up, and it's an easy headshot from Orbit. 2 rounds in the book. They are back up and in the lead again. However, let's not get too excited.
Yeah,
Last time around, this didn't stick around for long.
No, let's see if they can actually keep the momentum up and not just make it a weak attempt at a start here. This looks very, very familiar. 2-0 at the beginning. I imagine if we see a quick pickup here from GiFu, then it can really make Orbit feel like, uh-oh, let's not let this happen again. Maybe put them on a little bit of nervous tilt. I know Orbit's really putting a lot of pressure on themselves to not fall down in these finals because they got all the way here last time feeling so confident about themselves and then got shut down by both EU teams. I think they're really scared of getting shut down by both again.
So, down into the basement, Sisu head once more. They're still yet to successfully defend this. The attacks coming out from Orbit just a bit too strong.
I guess the upside, of course, you lose a bomb spot, you get to try it again, maybe with a little bit different strategy. The downside being, of course, you get to potentially fail it again. So you do really have to think about, do you want to change up or do you want to just make adjustments to what you were already doing? Does get drowned out. They are going to be watching out for Wilkie. Of course, they might be watching for him on the top floor as he rotated down back to site anyways.
Yeah, turned down and forced to run away. Does come back down to join his team, and the attackers are now coming in. Snake just pre-firing a couple of shots through into the garage. Might have got a lucky headshot if there was someone in there. There wasn't, but
worth it.
Worth a try.
You have enough ammo. As long as you can safely reload, right?
Yeah, while his team are droning out towards garage and towards cash room, he fires into the lounge in case anyone rotating out of there. Again, could be sprinting his way through.
Having a lot of trouble with these knives.
Trying to stay back, trying to stay unpredictable so they can't just get immediately shot while knifing the door or a window open.
Doesn't feel good when that happens. Buck coming in though. Imagine he's going to do his dirty work on that floor anytime now. There it goes. Gives you some really good angles into that hallway. I mean, it makes it so much easier to push those stairs.
So, thermite charge going down into the bar. Snake pushing down this doorway from above. Bar is opened on up. Canadian now has the diffuser. Again, they've got kill holes down in through the floor, the base of this stairwell. EMPs will go down, and that's nice and easy.
Not really necessary, of course, since they're not running a bandit, but you never know. You could get a Jaeger or something like that.
Watching a small kill hole at the back of church. Cracking the barbed wire open and seeing if anyone's peeked straight into it again.
Nice little hole. It's definitely wasting a lot of Blackbeard's time having to watch it. Nothing else.
Just firing it from a distance as well. Protex at the back of the site. Vapo down there is with him. Thermite jumps across the gap and begins to plant his charge on the church wall, and it will go off with ease. Nothing to stop it from Sisu. How are you going to play it now? Boonsey puts a smoke grenade straight onto it and immediately pops it. No one coming to rush straight in.
Not even the drone could see. They gotta know someone's gonna be in church there. And it's not, I mean, it's usually a shotgun, so.
KTO right at the backside in blue with Vapo now. Vapo's going to rotate up through garage and look to come behind him. It pulls the castle barricade down, is going around, but he might be a bit late. Canadians are taking down Boonsey. Young will take down Protex, but they downed Kicks from a distance. KTO finished off by Young at range, and he gets Wilkins. They all try and cross.
For Young.
Vapo's the last man standing, and he is trying to flank, but he's very late, and K9 finishes him off in the bar. Orbit 3-0 up.
Wow, that Blackbeard just 3-ing people right there, just with the rest of the push. That, like you said, Vapo a little late on that rotate. They were all kind of pushed back to blue. I expected a better defensive church there. They might have been better off battering it.
Yeah, they're so passive. They're just getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back over and over again and not doing anything. There's no resistance. No. There's no aggressive play back the other way. Wilkie tried it the first time to defend the basement but failed after getting the first kill. They've just completely shut out their own site without firing a single bullet.
It looked like they were, you know, Wilkie might have considered playing upstairs and then backed off when he got droned. that might have been a big difference for them had they had some roamer and Orbit been a little more careless on their droning. Definitely a good start for Orbit after last map getting crushed.
This is going to be the real test though for Orbit. Now that they're in the bar and the stock room, it's a much tougher site to hold. Can they do it? This will be the make or break point for Sisu as well, even if Orbit hold this.
Well, I'd say like, you know, hey, if it goes to 4-0, it's going to be hard for GiFu to make a comeback. But to be fair, last map they did go 5 in a row.
They did do that.
So it is possible.
They want to do it again, they have to start with this round.
Yeah, not looking like they're going to do 5 in a row at this point, but I have some faith we're going to at least see 1 round from GiFu here.
So, a couple of barbed wires over by B. The site will be held by 1 man with a shotgun most likely. They are again bringing Snake to the party. Shooting the bottom of that window, making it easy for a 1-punch opening.
Want to vault out of it. They do have people to kill if they decide to make that attack.
KTA once again using this IQ, coming close towards the garage, which has been castled off, just to again suggest there's something in there to slow something down. And well, it's true. There's a Canadian in there.
And you only thought they were up north.
He's taking a lot of damage at the backside of the side, but has now back away as Sledge started to reload. Vapo cracks the wall open.
I'll come from the other side. I'm surprised he doesn't sledge that door, but maybe he doesn't want to open it for him either way. They put one on that wall as well, or that door as well, I guess.
Yeah, why not? It forces you to bring castle around there, or at least use a grenade on it. It's something that can't be used inside.
Yeah. Some interesting strategies here. I mean, they've the strategies have obviously worked 3 rounds in a row, so I do have some faith in this one.
Kicks inside, sitting on the cash room stairs now, is cautious of what's shortly coming his way.
They are prepared for a garage push, that's for sure.
Canadian did get tagged there. Bonesy obviously wouldn't know this. He would have heard the yell a little bit, but
it was a good pre-fire. Unless he was just trying to open up the wall.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to open up that wall / pre-fire. Someone prone at the back of that site.
Paid off, although it was Rook. Didn't do a lot of damage to him.
No, but what it did do is forced him off the position he was, which that position was a very nice angle over towards Strip.
Very true.
So now, Orbit got to be a little bit cautious that that man is not watching that location. Not too sure where it is that Sisu are going to push in from yet. Thermite charge coming off from Garage, then from Protex. It's right behind Canadian. You'll hear it and get the move towards Lounge pretty shortly. Vapo now opening up the side of B, and notice anything familiar here from the way Junktis played before? The difference being, Junktis had forced people like Kix out from the site at this point. Kix is now right in the middle of where Sisu want to go.
They're going to have to catch him out if they want to make it. They got drones left, I imagine.
If he's picked up by Protax, Boonsy's looking to cover for him. I was going to say he has to reposition around towards Kitchen for the best plant spot. He's now going that way. Repels up. Wilkie's going to be close behind him. Course of above. One last drone and flashbang spree, and they will go on in. Shots coming through the doorway.
Nice
finished
shots.
him off. They had that low angle, saw his feet. Boonsy will trade one back onto K9, but Kix has taken down Vapo. Kix has also taken down KTO Mystarius. They weren't ready for him to be inside. Now Snake's pushing aggressive. Boonsy's in the side, but Wilkie's been down. He sees Kix, does get a kill onto him.
Doesn't finish it though.
Wilkie's not finished, doesn't need to finish it at this point because he knows he's being pushed from all angles, and Young will finish him off with a pump shotgun. 4 rounds to nothing. Orbit are looking to take this to a 3rd map right here, right now.
That's the Orbit I was expecting to see. The Orbit we saw at the beginning of Chalet that somehow magically vanished and returned for Clubhouse. I imagine GiFu are doing a little bit of a powwow at this point, like, okay guys, what are we doing wrong here? We've lost 4 rounds in a row on a map that they've played, that they know. Something's got to change, or they're just giving it up and gonna have to play round 3.
So, time now for Sisu to once again, potentially the last time, defend the basement. They are yet to do it successfully. Every single time Orbit push down here.
If I was them, I would almost consider choosing bar, just because this is not working for them.
Something maybe a bit different, yeah.
I mean, I guess the advantage of choosing the same bomb spot every time is you have some idea of the attack that's working on you that they may continue to do. I mean, it's working. They'll probably want to repeat it. Think about what you could do to counter it. Of course, if you're wrong, it's still a gamble.
All they got to do is shoot back. They haven't shot back at all so far this round.
Maybe consider running a good roamer. Someone up in cash room, as you said, or even just hiding somewhere far away that they don't expect.
Doesn't look like they're doing it. Vapo staying downstairs this time. He is in the stairwell, which he was before, but he's very quickly droned out from there, so can't really even make an impact in that spot.
That's twice. They drone that stairwell every time. You gotta expect it. It's unfortunate. I mean, we've seen some play in the past where Jaeger will use that stairwell to really good advantage because he's got some range into that bar, but if they just push you back with that drone, it's kind of worthless.
Young turning down the bottom of the stairwell, then Vapo spots it,
Start to
kills
wonder
it
if he's
off.
going to shoot it.
It's there in case of a prone man to come round.
Apparently we've got another stuck on drone. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but these LAN builds are not the same as everyone plays with at home.
Very true.
So they will back it up and restart. The scoreline will, of course, stand. It is 4-0, still in favor of Orbit. Looking at the way that round is set up, nothing really too crazy or new was there. It's everything Sisu had done was the same as what they had done in the previous attempts.
Here's a quick breather for them to think about that.
Yep.
Really meditate on that for a moment, unless they want to go and play Kanal really bad. However, I do think they may consider wanting to play in Kanal because of what happened last season when they took Orbit on Kanal, took away a lot of Orbit's confidence.
That's very true.
So maybe they're looking, you know, that's fine if
But
you
to
have
be
to go
fair,
to
when
Kanal.
you're playing them on the last map, it doesn't matter if you take their confidence away, because if you beat them, you win anyway.
That's true.
Never have to play them, never have to see them play.
But I just mean they've got to have some confidence on Kanal after that. But, you know, I imagine Orbit have learned a thing or two in this last season. I wouldn't count on that being your ace in the hole.
No. They reshuffle their way back into the lobby. All but one there is the last player, so it shouldn't be too long for them to get back in. 4-0 still in favor of Orbit. Bearing in mind the first map was Chalet, and it did go over to Sisu 5-2, so this is not all over after this round. We're still waiting for that one more. Looking like we're going straight into that Kanal.
Yeah, they're going to obviously play something similar to what they're doing. Would really like to see them change it up, but they don't seem to want to really do a lot of variation on their defense. It just seems like they're throwing it away at this point. When you're 4-0 and you're not doing something extremely different, you're really hoping that you can somehow outplay them. And they haven't been showing that on this map.
No, as you said, Sisu have just been falling back deeper and deeper within their bomb sites of that basement, not even firing back, and every time they stand up to try and do so, Young is sitting there with his Blackbeard just piling on the pain.
Yeah, and we know Orbit are really good gunfighters, so just trying to take it down to gunfights and hoping you'll win on that is not working.
No.
Like you said at the beginning, though, this is not the best bomb spot for them because Zizou like to play range, and this bomb spot is not about range. They'd almost be better off playing with some longer range defending operators on bar.
So, here we go. Down into church basement once more. Do go Sisu. K2 Mistari this time, though, is running a bandit, not a castle.
A
We
bit of
do
range.
see a slight difference.
Well, good, because they, you do see them actually blowing that wall, so that is something that could slow them down. However, you do see them thatchering it very early.
That's true, that's true.
So the batteries might not make a difference unless they're placed late. Maybe they'll wait for that first thatcher, having seen it previous times, but they'll thatcher down from the bar. They're not going to run all the way down and expect to do it then. So
They also do have Wilkie on the pulse, though, who could literally sit there and tell them when and where to battery.
that's definitely the way to do it.
Judging by his pulse, judging by his heartbeat sensor, so we'll see if they do that, or if they can leave him on the kitchen. He can still heartbeat sensor from kitchen, it's just a little bit tougher to locate exactly where the thermite is,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
I just hope for at least a little bit of variety this time. Like you said, they're bringing the bandit, so it means they want to do something different, but will it be different enough to actually
10 seconds left
at least get
before
to
insertion.
shoot back, like you said, would be nice.
So,
5 seconds to go.
trapdoor's all done. Wilkie is currently running around inside the strip club. He does take
Attackers
down
recover
Young's
the
drone,
diffuser.
and
Attackers
then make his way back towards the
locate a
stairs.
bomb and defuse.
Yeah, well, I guess you shoot the drone and then be like, make them think you might be in there, then peace out. But they do drone the club at the beginning, so I don't imagine they're going to fall for that for very long.
But every extra drone kill is very, very important in that prep phase, because drones are so powerful as the game goes on. The earlier you kill them, the better.
Yeah, both these teams definitely using a lot of drones, so taking that drone number down can hurt.
And we talked about how Sisu are just falling back, which is fine, because if they don't know where it is you've fallen back to, you can still surprise them. But Orbit have been droning so well, they know exactly where to expect each peak from the Sisu guys on the retake, that they are ready for it.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of surprises getting ready to come out so far. pretty standard defense, 5-man on site again. Good thorough droning, though. They're not taking it for granted. They don't want to say, like, you know, hey, they've given us the bar just fine before. We should expect that. Nope, they're still going to drone it thoroughly. Still going to make sure that they get this last round in the bag. No messing around.
So, Kicks comes in, begins to start spraying through the floor. He takes Vapo very low, but Snake is killed off by him beforehand. The shotgun blast from Snake also couldn't finish it. Vapo getting away with 2 points of health left. He does have armor. He could get revived by a teammate here.
We haven't seen a lot of teams resetting each other, though.
No, normally don't have time. Like KTO at the moment is too busy battery tricking what might be coming his way. He only killed the buck. They know that Thermite is still out there somewhere.
Well, obviously they got their Thatcher, so they are going to be able to do something about those batteries, provided they can out-trick him.
Up and above, still plenty of the attacking players just sitting in and watching. Protect's tentatively thinking about peeking out towards where Young's sitting. Not ready to do it, though.
Now, not the best idea, but at least he can absorb a shot or two from Blackbeard without dying, potentially.
Special charge.
So,
Clear.
Wilkie. Gonna be necessary to really give him some idea where this attack is coming from, because it can come pretty fast from orbit.
Yeah, but there are only 4 of them.
Very slow attack, though, with 45 seconds left and not any push happening yet.
Do still have Ash, though, and she can be pretty down speedy when she wants to be. Tries to go in through the construction tunnel. Gets taken down to below half health by that shotgun. Young taking Protect out, though. We'll put them back on a 4v4. He's once again at this front stairwell, looking towards the Memorial, looking now down towards the back of the site. Did take out that Rook, but Boonsy's the next man to potentially peek him.
Not a lot of time left here.
Shots once again rattling off towards the construction tunnel, just trying to hold them out there until the end of the 15 seconds. Boonsy now unsure, the flashbang's coming in. Young's watching the cross as they do start to sprint over. The smoke grenade is there, take Blackbeard a little way low, but Kicks has already got through it. Wookie's grabbed 2, he needs to find 1. He's in the construction tunnel. Kicks wasn't sure about that, so does get taken down in behind by KTO. Young finishes off the final kill of the round, and we do finally have Sisu on the board, but at 4 rounds to 1. I was get too excited about.
Yeah, I was starting to think Orbit might have been able to finish that off. The push was a little scrappy. I thought, you know, had that Ash push worked on that construction tunnel door and been able to push in aggressively and start doing some serious damage like Kicks can do in that armory, I thought maybe that was going to happen. But that push back was really well timed by Zizou, and I think that made a huge difference in that like last minute push not working.
So, Sisu need to go for that 5-round win streak, hell, 6-round win streak if they want to turn this on and end it here.
That would be interesting to see.
Would be quite an achievement. They are now attacking the basement. They just successfully defended. Orbit had a very good hold on here in the past, and they are not changing anything from it. Still running themselves that Castle and Bandit combination.
See if they end up doing the same thing, basically. Although they've obviously done it quite successfully. I wouldn't imagine they need to make a lot of change-ups at this point. It's all on Zizou to make the change-ups.
New camera feed.
Probably got those camera locations pretty well figured out by now. But, I mean, when you're scrambling to get inside, those inside cameras are really hard to take out because, yeah, you may know where they are, but good luck, you know, getting to those and shooting them while dealing with everyone shooting at you.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Definitely an advantage versus all the memorized cameras that are default to the map.
So,
see if Blackbeard chooses a different approach this time.
Coming in from around and towards the garage. He's checked for the cameras and will drone the garage himself as Vapo is already on his way inside. Not going to drop straight down yet. They know it's safe though because the castle barricade's there waiting. They just got to be cautious now, trying the feet as soon as they drop. K9 is there again. Now the grenade's going to come in from Vapo to open it up for him.
That's Sledge's remote breach there.
K9 has no shield there for him this time, so he's down at the far end and he's a little bit exposed.
Yeah, not quite as good a defense as last time, but Blackbeard didn't do a whole lot with it last time either.
He does start to make a couple of holds down the backside. Now Protect's going to go in towards the bar. Cautious of their angles behind him, but will get in there to join Vapo. As he drones down the rest of the way, Protex decides it's time to open up the drop down.
Time to make a new door.
That's going to be the start where they get ready to push. But they've got to deal with that door first. Let's hope they don't grenade both their drones doing that.
Snake trying to fire up through the corridor above himself. Just catch someone by surprise. Keita Mistari was up there, but hasn't taken any serious damage. Vapo opened himself up the door at the bottom of this staircase, but then ran on away. Boonsi might come around and rotate to there a little bit later on. We'll see what kind of, if any success he has inside the garage tunnel. Dodges around the diffuser, and then we'll go to join Protex, come in through the construction tunnel.
Good changeup. We saw Orbit do that last time, so just deciding to switch things up, come with that construction tunnel. We'll see if they make a good push from that side as well.
Boonsi thinking about edging his way forward. Here's the shotgun blast rattling off that wall to his right. Canadian makes himself a hole into the blue room.
Ooh, takes a little bit of damage for it though.
Yeah, peeks around the corner but survives it. Now he's got to be more cautious about where Boonsi is or where he's looking.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Let's hope he has a camera that can help him with that. I mean, he is in charge of that after all.
Flashbang coming down. Does go off completely. Canadian turns around but doesn't peek out.
Is he going to push it?
Boonsi thinks about edging forward, using the noise as cover. Another flashbang coming down. Goes off again. Canadian can still see. Looking for Boonsi.
Slow step.
Boonsi so quietly edging forward.
I just want to see Canadian just push him real quick.
He's about to get spotted. There it is, but Boonsi was ready for it.
That's amazing.
Canadian a little bit too long, and Vapo at the same time takes out Canadian. Young will finally trade out Protax, and he gets Wilkie as well, so this is falling apart now. Young making sure of that. Now he's shut down by Vapo, and inside the B side, Boonsi and Vapo are in there. KTO comes the other way, takes down Snake, and that is finally another round on the board for Sisu. 4 rounds to 2.
They figured something out.
Young getting back on in.
They've got a heck of a mountain to climb, though. But the first 2
round,
Orbit
have got to be thinking.
Yeah. Now again, I think it's starting to be Orbit's turn to change things up.
However, Sisu are forced to change things first by coming up to the bar now. They've held the basement. They've got to come upstairs. This could be the chance. Talked about it earlier on how if if Orbit lost this map, if they lost the bar here, that could have been the turning point. That would have been it. As it is, they won it and went up to the 4-0. Now, unfortunately for them, the turning point was the remake.
Yeah.
But they can still end it all here by winning this round.
I would like to see Orbit fake attacking the typical club attack, and then considering the B attack. Like, maybe even doing both and then deciding which one's working, if they can spare the time and resources to do that really quickly. Just because, you know, the EU might be a little more used to what we saw Youngtis do on that B attack, and the NA's a little more used to doing that strip club attack. Maybe if they can tease both, they can just feel it out, get an idea what Zisu's going to be better prepared for.
5 seconds left.
Camera activated.
Camera
Put
inside the freezer by KTO, watching over the lounge.
Objective is
And one inside the B site above the door. He'll move on away again. Gonna break the trap door.
There we go. Open that up.
Escape route.
Almost
does
gets
catch him.
Does.
The very fast play from Kix gives up that first kill. KTO was not finished with this setup, and Orbit of kicking off this round
Good
with
start.
a vengeance.
They don't want to give up another round. Get that much closer to a tie.
No, they are done hemorrhaging rounds. They've lost 2, and that's enough.
Yeah.
They've also now got very quickly inside the garage here with Snake. He's cautious of what's below, but so far nothing. They are going to open up the wall from the garage in towards the lounge here by Canadian.
They used to be an infamously very, very aggressive team. They'd shown a lot more reservation last season in the finals. I'm hoping to see that aggressive play so far. They're really starting out strong doing so.
See where they can keep it off. The site isn't impossible to hold with 4, especially if they're going to push in on to B there, which Boonsi is currently holding on his solo.
They do have attacks coming from multiple sides, which is going to help them out as long as they can keep picking off those defenders.
Flashbang's coming into lounge. Doesn't get inside that side, but he's
Ouch.
tagged again at a range by the man inside.
Doesn't see them around the corner.
Nope, and pays the price for it. Boonsi shutting him down with a nice headshot. He's then looking to peek out towards Kennels. He's got Young watching him on the other side, though. Young's going to see him through the smoke. Boonsi dodges away from it, survives. He's got to be very, very cautious, though. He's half health. Vapo getting down K9. The numbers advantage is back in Sisu's favor. Vapo came up from behind them, and he's in garage. Canadian and Snake. Canadian comes in. He takes Boonsi down by hitting prone. Snake's looking to peek for the backside. He's watching for it.
Oh.
Nice and easy kill. Vapo a little bit too aggressive.
Good
Wilkie's
counter.
taking down Young. It is now 2v2. Snake's still up. Canadian's still up. Canadian's taking the diffuser out and around towards garage. He's going to rotate around and maybe come in towards A and catch these rotates so by surprise. Sisu putting heavy aggression towards B, and if they get stabbed in the back now here, could all fall apart. Wilkie realizing though, he's now going upstairs. He's going towards the gym. This could be big for stopping this.
At least he's got that pulse device to get an idea where they're coming from.
Yep, they've realized that Orbit are making this rotate. If he catches him in the heartbeat here, could all be over for Orbit. If he doesn't look there in time,
He's hoping they go for that A plant, though.
Giving it a shot. Canadian, there we go. Gives it away by blowing open the wall now from Bar.
They don't have
45
that
seconds
Blackbeard.
on the clock now. He has no flash grenades left. Snake, I believe, has no normal grenades left. Protex on the other side of the bar, but does have himself an MP5 in tow, so that's a lot of range.
They've got to see those holes in the ceiling if they want to know what's coming.
Cautious about it. Right up and above them is Pulse. He does catch Canadian now on the heartbeat sensor. You can see down through the hole. He sees him in the corner. Realizing it's a little bit too far, aiming a little bit too low. Now he's tagging him. Canadian's forced to turn and run. 20 seconds on the clock. Now the plant's going to go down again. Looks it up and run away. Protex gets the kill onto Snake. Now Canadian's the only man. He's got no health left. 10 seconds. He's got to kill 2. They know where he is. All he's got to do is hide. All they've got to do is hide. He's chasing Protex down. He's going to hear him around the corner. Protex with a shot. Round number 3 on the board for Sisu. We are one round away from overtime.
The comeback is real.
Orbit are shaken up.
What happened?
Not entirely sure why they went with that rotate away, but what they did was do it with no plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Thermite works there with the Blackbeard, but they didn't have that. They had Buck. Not the best choice. $1.
More round.
Well, this is their last chance to shut this out right now. Orbit have got to come in strong. They've got to hold this really. I mean, they've held this basement pretty well for the most part. They've got to continue to do what they do well, shut out any chance. They might even have to play a very aggressive defense if they can to just stop whatever momentum they get on the basement.
Yeah. Boonsey was given a lot of control of that blue tunnel last time. Bappo came in from the construction tunnel and again was inside that site very, very aggressively and more or less freely. If they play a little bit of aggression perhaps towards that construction tunnel, shut down Vapo or they shut down Boonsey, just one of the two, and it will put a real big dent in Sisu's attack.
That's what they've got to do. If they don't put a dent in it and it just comes down to like 1v1s and things like that again, may not go in Orbit's favor, and then all of a sudden they've got to deal with this match point situation, ties, and overtime.
5 seconds left before insertion.
New camera feed up and running.
I imagine they're going to be changing things up at least a little bit on Zizou's side as well, but maybe not too much if they've won this previously. We do have the castle coming out again.
I'm out.
We'll keep coming in from Strip Up Smalls and aggressively making his way over towards the kitchen.
Smart droning upstairs just to make sure, especially if we want to take control of it.
Checking the upper floors from Jim once again. KTO now coming around the backside, taking down the garage castle door for Boonsey. Boonsey did have his feet shot a little bit as he dropped down in, but ultimately is in and safe.
He's got to be expecting K9 down there, and K9's got to be expecting him. There's not been a lot of change up here. Canadian in the same spot, too.
Yeah, but this time Canadian's there with a shotgun and ready, instead of last time when he came in a little bit late.
Yeah.
And there's the barbed wire now, so he will not be caught by surprise, and he has this camera watching it.
Yeah, let's see all that in combination here. Wasted 2 drones on him now, just making sure he's still there. I'm not sure that that does any good. He's probably still going to be there.
And there's Vapo taken out by Snake. This is a good start from Orbit. Boonsey now will not be a factor. Vapo is already a null factor. And Orbit are holding on firm. Sisu need this round, and Boonsey needs to stop thinking about that blue tunnel.
Canadian's going to make sure he does.
He's got no real way to make that work at all.
I mean, maybe he has a little confidence because it worked last time, but that's a little overconfidence.
What's going to happen this time? He needs to come down the stairs. He needs to come join the rest of the team at the front. They can maybe push through Bar Dropper and into Church. You are not getting through that backside. Protax thinking about going and blowing the trapdoor, but they decide against it. We'll bring him into the Bar Trapper instead.
Got to get something going. Only about a minute left.
Coming down the tunnel. Canadian's peeking around to try and go aggressive. If he had died there, that would have been catastrophic for Orbit. Instead, he takes Boonsey down very low, but cannot finish him.
I think it was a good trade, though. I think he lost less health than Boonsey did, so...
Was a good trade for Canadian. Boonsey now pushing aggressively forward again, but his team still aren't ready to push into Church or anything. He might be about to die for no apparent reason once more.
Yeah, now, I mean, if Boonsey gets in that same situation as last time, Canadian's likely to win that fight, having much more health.
Grenade down in towards the dropper will take down barbed wire and any other traps that might be waiting for them. The flashbangs are going in. Boonsey gets the kill on Canadian, and he's got Wilkie there with him now. Here comes the push. They're going to look towards Church. There are 2 players in there. The barbed wire is being taken out. Right at the back of the armor is being sprayed now towards Wilkie. He's now looking across towards Blue. K9 is there. The smoke grenades are out. Church is completely swamped by Orbit players. K9's pinned. Snake has been down in the site. Young's around there too, but they will down the Protax's Thermite.
Inside the site, Wilkie's grabbed one. KTO grabs one. It is 2v2. Kicks and Kano versus KTO and Wilkie. They've got to get this to end the round or overtime. Down in the back of the site, K9 is pinned. He peeks around the corner and he will get Wilkie killed. There's one more man left. It's KTO. He's getting the plant down inside the site.
No, don't let him get it down.
Stands on up. He does get out into the memorial as well. He's got 2 to find, and the diffuser is now pinned. He's cautious of what might be coming behind him. Kix is thinking about it. Kix is pre-firing the core. He's going to come around pre-fire. Kix gets the kill.
Good kill.
Orbit, end the map. 5 rounds to 3.
That's how you end it. Oh, and a team kill just to celebrate. My diffuse.
Kix puts
Well
K9
played.
down. Does go for the diffuse right at the end. It is 5 rounds to 3. We are going to a second map.
Well played by Orbit. A little bit shaky there, letting 3 rounds slip through the cracks. But you know what? Doesn't matter when you win.
No. Scoreline, those 3 rounds, all washed away by that defuse. Orbit.
That was close.
On in
To be honest.
Kanal.
Oh yeah, Kanal.
That was our 3rd and final map. Now
One
once again running off to a quick bathroom break. We'll look that over in just a moment. But that map.
Wow. I didn't think Kix was going to win that last fight, to be honest. I thought he had the pre-fire ready.
I thought after he pre-fired the corner and then stopped and then walked forward, KTO went aggressively at him and began his pre-fire. I thought it was Kix gone and done. I thought it was going to be a 1v1 and was ready for the big hype.
Yeah.
But KTO couldn't land that shot, just skipped it around his head. And, well, Kix did not miss with his UMP-45.
One of those shots that decides the game.
So, as you see the stage empty on out, players run for their toilet break, players run for their quick refresh. They'll be back in a moment.
They're going to need it.
Let's talk very briefly on the overviews of Kanal. It's one of these maps which is 2 separate bomb site locations. On the PC meta for both EU and Europe, we don't see that red brick building.
Now, that's just for roamers, pretty much. That is the roamer building for people that want to come late and try and get kills. Other than that, it's not really used. Coast Guard is just a place for you to drone, I guess. But the white building is so well played at this point, both teams are going to have a lot of trouble figuring out an advantage on the other.
All right, so we will come back after a very short break and find out exactly how these 2 teams play that map. It's going to be Kanal versus Sisu and Orbit. The winner will go on to play Yunctis in our grand final later on this evening. You are not going to want to miss this final map, guys. See you in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have game number 3 between Sisu and Orbit lined up and just about ready to go when the players funnel back in. They're all in their chairs. They just got to join the lobby. It's going to be Kanal. We've seen Clubhouse. We've seen Chalet, which, to be fair, went very much night and day.
Yeah.
Sisu stomp,
Very.
Orbit stomp.
Yeah. Obviously, they have their maps. And the question is, whose map is Kanal? Because previously we've seen Orbit think it's their map. And Sisu said, no, it's not actually. It's our map. Obviously, this is the rematch of the rematch, really.
So, I don't want to say I called it, but at the start of that Clubhouse map, I pointed out specifically how the basement, especially, does lend to Orbit's play style.
Very true.
Very much so. We saw how Sisu liked to play and how they did win. Chalet was playing very long range, very drawn back sides and defending the retakes from quite a range. Can't do that on Clubhouse. Goes over to Orbit's side. Jobs as good.
Yeah, Kanal.
Now, Kanal can be played either way.
Well, to be fair, Wilkie can play a really good Glass. And Glass is not worthless on this map.
As good as Glass could be.
True, true. I mean, this is a map, though, where you can play Glass or Blackbeard to your advantage on those windows. So that is something that could factor in. There is quite a few hallways that could be played long range. However, there also are quite a few tight spaces that can be played close range. So this one can be a little either or.
I mean, yes, okay, he likes his Glass, but ultimately, I think everyone would rather we just see Blackbeard on the roof.
Oh, no, obviously. I mean, why play a guy without a shield?
Yeah, exactly. And as you see, Boomsy already playing a pretty strong Blackbeard, that could be the case there. Or even, as we said, just repelling on the windows.
Yeah.
Like, that is a new common strategy, just repelling on the west windows because they know the red brick building's likely clear, or you have someone in there just watching the bridge and you know it's clear. Like, so there are plenty of ways to play this from range like Sisu prefer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a good defensive team inside can still force you in and force you to play these close, tight-knit battles, which Orbit love.
Yeah, you got to stay away from those windows so that you can play at close range.
So, here it goes. Sisu are on defense first, and they are defending the server room, control room. No surprises there. Onto the top floor. As for the attacking operators, you see a slight mix-up of things here from Orbit. They are bringing themselves a Thatcher into the mix because getting these walls that Vapo is there reinforcing open are very important for the map. Interesting to see Boonsy reinforcing these walls so heavily because we've seen a varying different ideas on how to defend it. Now, if you leave them open, then yes, someone can stand on the balcony outside, fire in towards the A site through them, do some damage. However, if you then get the walls open and you've left them open, someone that's playing on the stairs, say a Pulse with a very powerful shotgun, that's safe on the stairs, can peek up, shoot through the doorway, shoot through those walls onto the planter, relatively safe.
Very true.
So Pros and cons to leaving it or reinforcing it as far as the defending team goes. Sisu this time around choosing for the reinforced option.
I guess we'll get a chance to see how that plays out, see if that works as intended or it ends up backfiring.
Yeah, we also seen kill holes there made through the floor in the B site towards the kitchen below, so they can see anyone coming through that doorway underneath. That barbed wire put there as well to give them an early warning and some slowing down on anyone that's trying to come in through there and underneath.
Looks like they do want to place some people downstairs.
Yeah, making a vault hole here in towards the little security room for what is inevitably going to be Vapo, unsurprisingly, on that floor below. It looks like Wilkie's staying down there with him as well.
Downside, of course, of trying to play downstairs is it's much harder to rotate up if the attackers get control of those stairs.
Flashbang straight in towards the control desk there to take out the trophy system, then an EMP in afterwards to finish off anything else that's left behind. Nothing too crazy or pressing, but does get them done and out as they then rappel up onto the other building to start firing at a distance. Very early on, Canadian is up against this wall. There is no one on the inside of it to try and stop it going off. Sisu are just happily letting it get blown open, and they're going to try and defend it from the inside. Pre-fire from Snake in towards the A desk. Doesn't touch a single person. Protex is at the back of the room, actually aggressively on the wrong side of the desk. Does tag does tag Sledge, but took more damage himself
that trophy system
than he dealt. Now he's trying to edge away. The drone is chasing him out and gets his location and then kicks it there on the window to finish him off. And ultimately, that doesn't surprise me. That was a very weird spot to sit as Protax.
Usually you hide behind the monitors, not on that side of them. For that obvious reason.
Yeah.
Good aggressive play, already taken 2 down.
Yeah, Wilkie taken out by Canadian as well now too. Now spraying that doorway. And look, now they can get in and plant to this wall. Nothing that Sisu can do about it because they can't shoot through that wall. It's reinforced themselves. They can't really do much from the floor underneath either, as Vapo doesn't have the best of up-down weapons.
Yeah, they definitely
and actually going to plant in the backside of the site. Over by the control room, Canadian getting the bomb down.
Nice plan.
They do get Snake taken out by, and Vapo takes down Kicks as well. He goes from the other building, or from the garage, sorry, to do that. They've downed one man on the sky bridge. Looking now at someone perhaps running across, there's no one there. Meanwhile, Boonsy's upstairs, looking to sprint into the back of the room before he even sees Canadian. He's shut down from behind. K2 does take down Snake, but he was already downed. Young has finished off Vapo now, and it's all on KTO. And that's an easy kill for Canadian. That round in the book for Orbit.
Good attack.
Without breaking a sweat.
Not even really challenged so much in that room. Yeah, a few firefights in there, but just getting in and planting that early? A lot of excitement coming from the Orbit team. They are ready to take this game to the bank, all the way to the finals. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Orbit are
enthusiastic.
Cheering themselves up. That's one way to put it. As they now head on into round number 2. Their defense of that same bomb. No, they're going to switch it on up. They've got a few seconds left to change their mind, but currently hovering over the kitchen projector room selections.
Also referred to as maps collectively.
Yes, collectively the maps room there in the middle.
Well, maybe they're doing that strategy I mentioned before, starting with your weaker site.
Yeah, very possible, especially when you've already got one round in the book. You can afford to lose one and then just go 2-1 on your strong side afterwards.
It'd be nice, yeah, to see them get a little bit of a streak.
Let's see what the case is. The last couple of rounds, of course, we saw Orbit get 2, then Sisu get 5, then we saw Orbit get 4, and then Sisu get 3 before the map ended.
They're very streaky players.
Is this going to be a closer game, or are we going to see a streak like before, as you mentioned?
I think Orbit are really looking to prove that they can be better on this map. No messing around.
Up to the top floor. Orbit send a lot of their players because the key to holding this maps room site is holding the top floor.
It looks like they put a few interesting holes over on that side of the map. Whether they choose to use them or just to mess with them. Interesting choices.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers
good camera throw there.
and defuse the bomb.
Young playing that early garage.
Yep, going down this thing if there's anyone you can see on outside. There isn't. Sisu making a very slow approach to the building, checking every single window and every little angle they can. Sure enough, no one over in the red brick building.
New feed active.
They make their way forward. Still a chance that someone could rotate over there late, just like we did see from Vapo on that last round.
Good drone hiding spot there up on the vents. Little nervous. They're a little nervous going in there, even though they've droned it out. Those holes that Pulse put over there definitely scared them a little bit. Why are those there?
Unsure about it. They're droning it. They're now slowly making their way across as they take out a couple of cameras and spots that are there waiting with their eyes on them.
That's one of my favorite things for the defenders to do, is to get purposely droned on that side, shoot out the drone, and then rotate back. Just make them waste as much time as possible on Coast Guard.
Yeah, off and across the model now goes Vapo. At R4C in hand. Up to the window goes Boonsey. Now he's comfortable, it's safe with Vapo on the bridge and the other building cleared out by drones. Feels comfortable checking and cleaning this top floor with his shield in tow.
Scanning for electronics.
Vapo's still cautious of what's down here. Canadian is one of those players that's down here. He's inside the room. Kicks has taken Boonsey out as he comes out from the garage underneath.
That's the kind of move you'd expect when they're up the floor above.
With Wilkie here, that's a big misstep from Sisu to let that happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going for at this point. It's almost like they're trying to attack it as if it's upstairs, not realizing that it's in maps.
Coming up.
Protex comes on over,
Changes his mind.
thinking about it, and then
Huh?
changes it again. He's trying to bait someone out from the peak.
Ah, nice try. Didn't do a whole lot.
No, they have no reason to peek from there. That's not even the bomb site. Up the
Nice.
ladder comes KTM
Very
Vistari, and
aggressive.
Snake catches it and gets a free shotgun kill when he hits the top. Sisu are crumbling in front of our very eyes right now. Wilkie trying to repel on the side, same as Boonsey, is now baiting Kicks to peek from the garage. Kicks not going to do it again.
Nope.
He has no need to, especially with the kills they already have. Tried
Yeah,
to
two
pre-fire
down.
a little way inside, but no reason to be there whatsoever.
Especially with Blackbeard already down.
Grenade in hand, straight into the room. Does get taken out by a trophy system. Looking towards the A site. Kicks is still downstairs now, but he's still playing very, very passive.
on his
Vapo takes
phone.
down Canadian. Yeah, he's on his phone looking at VOUT cameras. Wilkie now moves away to a safer position. Finally got a kill on the board for Sisu. Window being opened up behind Thermite, and Wilkie's going to come in and
Catch him.
join him now. Looking towards the front entranceway. Above them, there is one dropping down. It is Snake, but Vapo takes him down unscoped. At that range, though, that's nice and easy. Pushing forward in more barbed wire now. Looking to get inside the site. The crawl hole is there. Inside the small room, it's been found. Protex gets one. Young will trade Vapo down, but the diffuser is down. And it doesn't matter when Young and Kicks finish off the last two kills of the round.
Great kills. I was starting to think the defense was crumbling there.
I did too. It
Turn it
looked like it
quickly
for a
around.
minute.
I think the smoke helped a little bit. Pushed them out of being able to push in that particular side, letting them concentrate all their fire on the entrances that were still available.
That, and with every kill that Orbit got, more and more info was being passed over about the position of the Sisu players and the way they came in. And the further in they came, the less room they had to maneuver.
A lot easier to trade at that point.
Yeah, a lot easier to trade, a lot easier to just mince them up. And I mean, you see those two players came in through that front corridor and just got minced with the crossfire.
Well, that does put Orbit 2 up, starting that streak, going
We're seeing
strong.
the now despondent looks of Sisu that we
Concentrating.
saw coming out of Orbit in map number 1. And well, Sisu are back up onto the top floor now.
Well, as we said, win that site. Now it's going to look a lot stronger for defending that top site because they've really put, Zissou a little bit on tilt, I imagine, successfully guarding the weaker site. Although, who knows, maybe to Orbit that's the stronger side if they've really practiced it well.
So,
A lot of drones just chilling outside,
10 seconds
waiting for their time.
time now
5
for
seconds
Wilkie
left.
to crack open a couple of windows. Not only will that give a little bit of fear for people approaching the building, it means if
Attackers
they start repelling on that window and they want to go into the bridge and feel it's safe to go into the bridge to get a kill onto anyone repelling, they can do so without making noise. And that's important.
Almost catches that drone.
Well, I almost catch the drone. He's throwing a couple of cameras in there now, but Orbit are going to be aware of this thanks to having seen it there, so they're going to be cautious of it.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
ready to be deployed.
Over on the other building, Young droning across the bridge, checking it's clear and waiting for him. Once again, Wilkie and Vapor are in the maps room in the kitchen below, ready to catch anyone by surprise that comes over and isn't paying full attention.
Doesn't necessarily work so great for them in terms of being able to rotate those people back up unless they do it sooner rather than later.
Still got 2 minutes on the clock, and Orbit feeling comfortable with their positioning now and starting to make their way in. Canadian once again starts cracking open this room. Once more, the Pulse is sitting on the top of the stairs, checking what's in on the edge of the balcony.
Let's hope they're hiding behind the monitors at the time.
You can see Protex is prone behind the monitors this time around,
Lesson
rather than
learned.
there in the middle of them all. No cover there whatsoever, and he's
A
learnt his
bomb has been
lesson.
located.
Although this drone's going to help change his mind a little bit. Does almost gets away with it scot-free.
Yeah, but it does get shut down in the last moment. Fails that grenade, it's going to bounce a little way back.
Might still work.
Take a little bit of damage himself, but he cracks the
worth
door
it.
open and fails the second one. It's not ideal at all. Let's see if that comes back to bite them. Pulse gets inside the room now, still heartbeat censoring, but he begins to pre-fire the back of the desk.
Definitely doing that jiggle peeking. Waiting for someone to try and peek it.
Cautious for it. Minute 20 now. There's still no kills on the board. Wilkie started to come up the staircase. He's looking to peek around the corner. Just shows his gun, and that means the pre-fires coming out from Snake, but no real movement.
I don't think Wilkie gained a whole lot out of that other than knowing maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, he just realized he does not need to move. It's a minute on the clock. You haven't got to be aggressive. You're the defending players. K9 is on the other roof now, firing across towards the top of Protex's head, making him stay prone. Boonsy's inside B. KT Mustari is pinned behind this little cabinet in A. And they're waiting for the push to come in from Orbit. They've got to make a move soon. With 50 seconds on the clock, they've got to start thinking about getting the plate plant down.
Kix knows he's there with that drone that just got killed. Will he be able to get an angle on him from the window?
Snake comes in and goes back out. He's ready for Wilkie to peek into this corridor. Wilkie, though, staying firm on the stairs this time. Flashbangs come in the back. Protex in the back of the room. They go repelled in on. Canadian gets the kill. The Protex is completely blinded. Going to come to the backside and plant again. Now Young has been taken out. Kix has taken him down. Though. Young very, very low. Actually not down, but taken out Vapo.
Snake and Kix drop at once.
Easy kills.
That's a finish.
While they didn't see and didn't kill Sisu off originally, they knew exactly where they were, and as soon as the plant starts going down, they were ready for more to stand up, walk straight into Orbit's crosshairs, and it's easy, easy rounds.
Orbit turning into a zoo over there, getting wild and crazy. Starting strong. We did see this previously, though. It could come back. Could come back.
There's a chance, but
Very
honestly,
streaky.
I don't see it from Sisu right now.
Like you said before.
They are deflated, despondent, and don't seem to have any real plan.
I think maybe they didn't spend as much time on this map between seasons as they probably should have. Seeing very good attacks, very good defenses. Now Orbit has the chance to go up top instead of having to play maps.
Yeah, Orbit, having played the downstairs site earlier on, is now about to play its strongest site up here to put them on map and series points.
I guess we'll have a chance to see, though, if Zizou has a really good attack for this, and if maybe the maps room was actually a better defense for Orbit. Because this top side is so commonly played, chances are Zizou has a plan in mind for this. However, we haven't seen a lot of plans in mind so far that have worked.
No, but if there's any site that they will have practiced a lot, it is going to be this one. This is everyone's site. This is the place to be and the place to go.
We are seeing that castle again.
If we're to see an end to the streak, this could be that one. And you talked about how streaky these games have been so far.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, from good teams like this, you expect a little more back and forth, but it's almost maybe they're just getting on these emotional streaks, and it's more than just play.
Let's see how it does. Young staying downstairs with that crawl hole and reinforcement. He's also got Snake down here with him with that heartbeat sensor.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Canadian takes Vapo down.
Good start. Canadian loves that C4. It's a signature move.
C4 underneath the floor in the red brick building.
It's what he does best.
Quick early kill to set off the kills in the North American team's favor.
Good start for them locking this out. You got Pulse here just saying, up, I know where you guys are coming from.
It's got Wookie tracked on the bottom of that metal staircase now, so you can keep an eye on him while he's droning.
They've got to be playing this a lot more cautiously now that they lost their most aggressive operator.
Protex starting to break open the thermite wall on the top of Brickstone top. They will give him a nice angle in. Bootsy out there with Blackbeard. He's going to be relatively safe thanks to the upside down angle on that.
I do prefer that, having Blackbeard having a little more safety.
Canadian at the back of the control desks now has been droned out by Protex. Bootsy, while he can't see him,
Yeah, he was on his
there.
phone. Not good for Canadian.
He was checking his cameras. He, of course, used those cameras to get that C4 kill earlier on.
Worth it. Interesting drone throw.
Drone going to go down and send it nowhere near where he wanted it to, but he did see the camera.
Guess that worked out in some way.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Wookie cracks open the B windows with an angle now in towards the A site. Back of the B site, there is a man prone behind the desks with eyes on this very window. Wookie stands up before that drone forces him to move. There we go, drone's forced him to move now.
Not much, though.
No, doesn't land any damage in return, and Kix goes back to that same angle. Bootsy's now going to be there, and the shields are going to work out in Bootsy's favor. Kix takes 2 very big rounds to the face, but not enough to kill him.
Blackbeard obviously practiced shooting through that crack because it's not easy to pull off, especially with that recoil.
Flashbangs coming into the back of the room. Jaeger's still at the back of the edge. Dodges away from the grenade. That's why the flashbangs went in. They take out the trophy system. He does successfully dart over to the right-hand side, though, and is alive.
That's what matters when you got a man advantage.
45 seconds on the clock. Sisu have not really found any kind of opening. They've only lost a man, and they cannot get inside the sites like this. Rappelling up to the front edge goes Wilkie. Where are you trying to go now? Maybe down to the back edge of the site, but then the man over the back of control desk could peek and kill
Yeah,
him.
they just want to try and get...
Canadian has dropped from the control desk now. This might be a rappel onto the backside of the B windows for Wilkie, and he has gone there. If he can take out Jaeger, they might get their way in. Kicks, however, takes Wilkie down before he can make that happen. And this could be all or nothing now.
Not
Canadian looking to peek for the rappel on the bridge.
Chant that drone.
Shotgun's OP.
remaining.
In they come again at the backside of the
it
site. They're
doesn't
waiting for
work out at
Boonsy. It's a
all.
nice easy kill.
Another
Snake
one
gets
comes in
it
the
from
window.
below. Boonsy is down. Inside goes Protex. He does get one kill. He looks towards K9 in the connector. He's got 4 seconds. The K9 is just going to save his KD and run away. He does go for the plant hold, but it's there. It's 4 rounds to nothing in favor of Orbit.
Wow.
One more for not only the shutout, but for the series.
If they pull off this 5-0 right here, a very strong contender for the finals, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This could be Orbit's final day to get revenge for last season. Big hype for NA to finally make it into a final series here. They just have not been able to do it. It's been Xbox gets NA, PC gets EU. This may be the milestone for NA to finally break PC.
There is a chance.
I'm hoping for it.
It's
I'd like
a
to see
very
it.
high chance right now. Looking at this
Yeah.
season squad, there's not a lot of talking going on. These guys are clearly in shutdown mode.
This is where you concentrate, but don't tilt. You know, this could be a choking point, though. It's very hard to not choke in a situation like this.
Upstairs they go. A and B is the server room and the control room. If Orbit win this, they will face off against Untitled in the grand final later on today. Untitled, the number 1 seed from Europe. Orbit, the number 1 seed from North America. It is
Does
the
make
show
sense.
match everyone wanted to see.
Sounds fitting.
Can they finish off this round to make it happen?
Discovered the location.
Obviously, before that grand final, we do still have our show matches, the losers of these 2 semi-finals. So far it is Flipside Tactics and possibly Sisu here playing up against INTZ, the Brazilian team that's come over. They were playing Favela. And we will, of course, have all that information about the upcoming balance changes
Their defuse of the bomb.
that we
Good
will
stuff.
see in patch 4.1 and the future.
Very exciting things to come after this.
So, here comes this round. The kill hole's being made. Nearly take Wookie's head off. K2 fires
shot.
down through that gap, but they are finally set up and ready to go. They are going to try and battery trick the front of the site.
We do know
Pato
Orbit can take this bomb spot, though.
gives himself a very nice tight angle there in towards the model room and the doorway.
Let's see if they are prepared. I mean, we've got Thatcher way across the map. Hopefully they are prepared to deal with this, provided they want to open up that
Attackers
box.
recovered the diffuser.
Protecting the connector. Boonsy behind the desks at B. Wilkie behind the desks at A. Very much prone with a shotgun in hand behind the control. K2 trying to battery juggle. Canadian is there right next to him. And on the other roof, K9 is firing across to the top of Wilkie's head.
Kaner needs to come help. The batteries are there.
That, or and here's the other option. Snake goes up to the roof. He rappels down the side. Here we go. Goes to the window underneath. Cooks a grenade and blows it up right underneath
That'll do it.
KTM Mastari's feet. Or in this case, he's going to throw them up over the top. They're going to use the trophy systems with those.
Nicely
Grenade going up
played.
over the top.
Here comes Canadian.
Grenade's going to
Doing
go
his
off,
job.
touch nothing. Next grenade does go
Oh,
off and does down
downed.
KTM Mastari. And the
Well
charge will
played.
go up. He does drop down through the trapdoor, so he might get revived by Vapo if he's still alive downstairs.
Drone's going to help find that out.
But ultimately they are inside the site. KTO is now revived there by Vapo, so not too much loss, but the wall opened up now all the same and him pinned on the floor below. He might not be able to come up and help his team when the push comes to shove.
He is down 50 health, though, at least.
Wilkie at the back of the site, being spotted by the drone. The shots are rattling in. There we go. Kicks
Nice.
has downed him from a range, and Wilkie is now in serious trouble. No one can get to him to revive him. There's no way for him to crawl down to safety, so they're just down and out. There we
he
go.
goes.
Kano finishes him off. It's now 4v5, and they're going in. Once again, Canadian looking for that same plant, but they can't finish him off when he's repelling. That's a huge mistake from Protex. And then
plants
Kicks will finish
again.
him. The plant's going down in that corner. He should not be allowed to do this. Out the door comes KTO Mastari, and Snake will finish
Falling
him.
apart.
Boonsy and Vapo, the last two. Vapo down on the way back
Another
in. Boonsy's on his own. All on
luck,
this one
Boonsy.
player. He's got to kill 5. There's not a lot of health on them, but it's 5 all the same. He finds
Not-
Blackbeard, who
right
gets
in the
Deagle down.
stomach.
Orbit are going to the grand finals against
Orbit.
Yuctis.
NA, first time PC. Big moment, big moment. I'm from NA, so this is a big moment for me. I know you're from the UK, Panky. Not the best moment for you,
We
but
know you're
we
doing
got to
something.
celebrate. You got your other team in the finals here. Gonna be a showdown for sure.
What a way to do it as well. Map number 3, 5 rounds to nothing. Orbit
Canadian,
making a
baby.
statement. We had some hairy moments in the opening maps. They lost